I'm here to bring you a section of broadcasting or podcasting. Is now called Connecting the Dots, which means we try to take what's going on presently and connect it to history so you can find out what was in the center that's missing that nobody wants to talk about. That's why they're right now saying we don't need no racial history in this country. We're for right and trying to pass laws that's forbidden to teach history. Because what they want to do is to make sure that nobody ever finds out why blacks are in a dilemma in this country and any place on the world, including Haiti and all these Caribbean islands. It defies mathematical probability for black folk to be on the bottom all around the world and to have been there for 465 years. That's no accident. Black folk have never been permitted to be any more or any less than what white folk wanted them to be. You see, the whole point of history was that when white Europeans came to this country, they came here as freeloaders. And see, when you all don't call them that, that's exactly what they are. They knew they were coming as freeloaders, but they entered out all the prisons, all the poorhouses, all the mental institutions, and put them on boats and sent them over to the United States. And the first thing they did was build form a new state called Georgia, and to build a filter to stop slaves from running away from South Carolina into Florida. But that whole thing was built and designed to keep black folk contained. And the reason they're going to try to do that, because you see, because black slaves were, I call native blacks, because they're not African blacks, they're natives. These blacks are born in the United States, are born on ships after they were kidnapped out of Africa. So they're not Africans. They were raised totally independently, either on those boats or and after they arrived in America for the last 400 some years. They are natives. Plus, in addition to that, we had blacks in this country as Folsom people way before the American Indians ever came to this country, were ever formed, and came out of Asia across the Bering Straits. And so the Indians trying to get ahead of blacks by saying, we are natives. You're not any natives either. You came across the Bering Straits after blacks. That everybody on the earth came to the earth and followed black folk. The only natives you got on the earth were black people. They were the original natives. Everybody else came here. They were followers. They came here and were raised in either in Asia or European, on the European continent, or in the Pacific Islanders as freeloaders. They got some of the free benefits of what the historical blacks were creating on the earth. Blacks were the original people on the earth. And so whether you call them Native Americans or original people, that's what blacks are entitled to, which makes them very special people. And so right now, we need to do something about these blacks with the present administration. See, Biden got elected with he and Harris running as vice president because they promised they're going to do certain things for black folk. They've been in there now over about a year and almost a year and a half, and they have not done one single thing for black folk. I don't think the word black has ever crossed their lips since they got elected. But now, when it was time for the vote to go out, they put up a pretense, a straw man talking about, we got to get the black vote because that black vote is exempt. We need to have that to get elected. First of all, they didn't need the black vote because you see, black folk were outnumbered 9-1 in this country. You got 9 other ethnic groups in the country, and if you break it down to parts, black folk only constitute 1 out of the 9 or 10 groups in this country. So black vote is not that necessary. They did that because they're going to do what they call sneaky suppression of the black vote. They've been suppressing the black vote since the Constitution in 1789. And people are talking about, they're suppressing our vote. The Constitution suppressed your vote. Until you go back and deal with the Constitution and correct it, you're going to always be suppressed. And that's built into the Constitution, that black folk were to be suppressed. And even after the Civil War, they went back and suppressed you again in the second Constitution. You got 2 constitutions in the United States. You got the first one written by Thomas Jefferson, and back in 7